It's a Saturday night special with tons of playoff implications. Lions, Cowboys. We talk about it next on DJ Football. He is the NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah. I am Ryan Brown. This is DJ Football, and it is presented by MyBookie.ag. Right now, you make your initial deposit. They give you a bonus up to $1,000 when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. Code next round to get that bonus. Code next round at MyBookie.ag. What is up, DJ? How are you?
I'm doing great. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. I mean, what a Saturday night game we have. The Lions visiting the Cowboys. As we record this, Cowboys about a 6-point favorite at MyBookie.ag. But boy, there are some playoff storylines in a Lions-Cowboys game. The Thanksgiving stalwarts are now meeting head-to-head late in the season with a ton of playoff implications.
No doubt. The Lions very much being in the mix here to chase down the number one seed in the NFC. So you think about them clinching a division, clinching a home playoff game last week that, man, maybe there's a little bit of an exhale, a little bit of a letdown here. But no, there's still plenty for them to play for. And the Cowboys coming off a tough loss last week on the road against Miami, still the division in the mix for them. So a lot on the line.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Lions. You mentioned the division for Dallas, but the stakes are even bigger for the Lions. They have clinched a playoff berth. They have clinched their division. The first time they've ever won that division. They were in the NFC Central for years. NFC North, first time they've ever won that division. They've never had a playoff game at Ford Field. They will get that. But thanks to the Ravens going out with an impressive win in San Francisco, all of a sudden that one seed is within their grasp. They need help, but that would be pretty remarkable.
Yeah, they need San Francisco to slip up one time and to finish with 2 wins, and they're sitting there in the catbird seat with the number 1 overall seed. It's quite remarkable the job that they've done there. I give Brad Holmes a lot of credit, their general manager, for the complete roster overhaul that they've done over the last 3 years. And really, when you watch them, it's not a fluke. We talked about it in one of our earlier episodes this year that they kind of felt like San Francisco light, like the same, image of San Francisco, but just maybe a notch below. And I don't know, I'm looking at what we saw from San Francisco the other night and what we've seen from the Lions, and I'm thinking maybe we're selling them a little short here. Maybe they're on more equal ground there.
This can obviously change. I was looking at the playoff matchups this morning in the NFC, and it would be Rams and Lions. And the storylines in that one, right? With Matt Stafford going against his old team, Jared Goff going against his old team. What a phenomenal storyline that would be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be fun. And really, 2 teams that are kind of finding their stride at the right time as well. And, look, that's another whole topic on what the Rams have done, the remarkable job of their coaching staff and their group there. But the Lions, I think we give so much attention to what they've done offensively, and Jahmyr Gibbs having a great year, Sam Laporta, the 2 rookies playing great ball. Jared Goff has been kind of a pillar of consistency for them. But to me, obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown, I want to not mention him, but the defense to me has been kind of the bigger storyline. I think that's the leap that's taken place with that group. And again, a lot of young players, Ryan, they're playing a bunch of first and second year guys out there.
Yeah. You often hear that a team replicates their coach a lot of times, like the coach's personality is often seen in a team. And we focus so much on that offense. And you talked about those offensive parts. That defense looks a lot like Dan Campbell does it. The way he carries himself is kind of the way their defense plays.
Yeah, and they just make plays. To me, when you watch him defensively, especially on the back end, I think Kirby Joseph had 2 picks last week. He's got 4 on the year. I think he had 4 last year. So you're talking about a guy who's 23 years old. I want to say 22, 23 years old, 2 years in the league. He's got 8 picks. They throw these guys out there and they pump them full of confidence. They don't play scared. They jump routes. They play aggressive. Their front is a really aggressive group as well. So, yeah, I think you take on the identity of your head coach, and we've seen that with the toughness and the grittiness of their offensive line. But I think you're seeing that defense kind of pick up their play as well.
Yeah, so the Lions, already a division champion, already locked into a home playoff game, within grasp of getting the 1 seed. And Dan Campbell, perhaps your NFL coach of the year. There's just so much to talk about with this Lions team. It is not as rosy a picture for the Cowboys. We'll discuss them next. A reminder, this show is presented by MyBookie.ag. DJ Football is. And you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.ag. They're giving you a great deal right now. You can log on, make your initial deposit there, and they will match it up to $1,000. That is free money you can use. Use it right away. Win once, it is yours forever. At MyBookie.ag, bet anything, anytime, anywhere. at mybookie.ag. Also, manscaped.com. Here in my hand, you will find the Handyman. It is the portable razor, great at home as well, compact, easy to travel with, gives you a great shave. You can get this and many other products at manscaped.com, including the Beard Hedger. I use the Beard Hedger every single week, at least 2 or 3 times. It's got the dial-up guard, so the guard doesn't pop off at just the wrong time and gap up your beard. You've also got the Weed Whacker, which takes care of the nose hair and the ear hair, so you don't look like some old man unkempt out there. And then you got the Lawnmower. It takes care of the full body, including the undercarriage, there at manscaped.com. Boxer shorts, male body products. And because you watch this show, you get a great discount, 20% off your initial order by using the code DJF20. DJF20 gets you 20% off at manscaped.com, code DJF20. All right, the Cowboys have lost 2 straight. They were totally different losses, just run out of the stadium up in Buffalo. Not the same thing. They lose to a field goal at the Horn in Miami, but both those go down as losses. You might have played better in one than the other, DJ, but this is a team in desperate need of a home win.
Yeah, they need to win here in a big way. But I would say coming off of last week, watching the tape in that game against Miami, who was one of the better teams in the NFL, to be right there at the end with a chance to win, they just didn't get the stop that they needed late in that ball game. I left that thinking, okay, the Cowboys, when they're right, they can play with anybody. I felt a lot better about them there surely than I did when they lost to San Francisco in the Buffalo game. So that was a step forward for them. I thought their defense actually played pretty well against Miami. So there was some positives to take out of that. No moral victories. But I do think that they play that brand of football. They should be in good shape in this one against a really good Lions team.
I want to ask, and you've watched the film, if anything jumped out at you about CeeDee Lamb in the final 3 quarters. In the first quarter, he was unstoppable, and Vic Fangio adjusted, and you didn't hear much about CeeDee Lamb the rest of the game. I don't know what Miami did to him defensively. I don't know if other teams can do that to CeeDee Lamb, but the adjustment Miami made from the first quarter to the second, third, and fourth quarter on him was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I think honestly it was more front to back, than what they did on CeeDee. I think they just were able to heat up the quarterback a little bit. Bradley Chubb, a nice game in this one. Their interior rushers got some push. They kind of clouded the vision a little bit with Dak. So I think as much as you kind of give credit for them rolling and trying to give some help over there to CeeDee, I think more than anything else, I just feel like the pocket felt constricted and collapsing a little bit more on Dak as the game went along. And that's been, kind of the thing about this Dolphins team. The offense grabs all the headlines. If you look at them in big games, to me, it's whether or not the defense, steps up and plays well. And in that one, they absolutely did.
You mentioned the defense, and Micah Parsons is as good as any player in the NFL. I thought the Dolphins had a pretty good plan on him. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I think he had a tackle for a loss and just a few solo tackles. He got tagged with a really bad roughing the passer call, which Christian Wilkins did too. I mean, both teams got a very bad roughing the passer call. Parsons was probably a little bit worse. I don't know what he's supposed to do in that situation, but that we say that a lot about roughing the passer. But I thought Miami did a pretty good job scheming against him.
Yeah, and look, 2 of the balls gone. I mean, they hit a couple bang eights, those skinny posts to Tyreek Hill for sure on one of them, where, man, it is back foot, ball is gone. He's not out of his break. The ball's hitting him right on the upfield shoulder. Nothing you can do. I mean, I don't care how talented your pass rush is. When they're in that type of a flow and that type of a rhythm, they're going to be tough to handle. And, even though the points weren't great, I think they still had a ton of explosives. I want to say 5 guys with a catch of at least 18 yards. I know Robbie Chosen had one in there. Wilson had one. So, obviously Waddle hit a big go ball early in that one as well. So, they're a lot to deal with. They're a lot to handle, especially when Tua can throw on time. So that was the issue there with the Cowboys, I think is, if he's throwing on time, I don't care how talented your front is, you're not going to get home.
It is a team that just did not play well on the road, and that is bad news because if you look at the divisional standings, they're going to have to play some playoff games on the road.
Yeah.
They just don't win on the road. I don't know what it is about Dallas. Good at home, can't win on the road.
Yeah, the good news is once you get into the tournament, you can wipe the slate clean and you get a fresh start and you kind of put that behind you. And that's why, again, no moral victories, but the difference in those 2 games earlier in the season and the one previously the week before against Buffalo and then that Niner game, they were non-competitive. I mean, they got ran out of the stadium. It was a physical mismatch. I didn't think they really showed up in terms of the enthusiasm that they played with. That was a hard-fought game. They played with a lot of vigor. They played with a lot of energy. And if they do that, pack that on the road, they're not going to be an easy out. So to me, that was encouraging in a loss for Dallas last week.
Yeah, even my wife. Now, for you Cowboys fans watching this, I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan. My wife was watching the game with me. Even she pointed out, like, Dak does not seem to be handling the humidity very well. And it's not that he's out of shape. It's just that you are asking him to run an awful lot. You just can't ask him to move that much.
They couldn't run the ball. I mean, so you got to have to help him out a little bit there. That's the thing that's the one thing you think about the run game, the old adage, right? You pack your defense and run game on the road, and that's going to help you win those games. I don't feel great about where their run game is at this point in time. That is a major concern for me.
Saturday night, ABC, ESPN, MyBookie.ag right now with the Cowboys, about a 6.5 point favorite over the NFC North champion, Detroit Lions. They're from Jerry World. DJ Football is presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round to get that deposit bonus at MyBookie.ag up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. Also, Manscaped.com. Code DJF20 for DJ Football viewers. DJF20, 20% off your initial order at Manscaped.com. Here at Disrupt the Media, we've also got previews up on that Miami-Baltimore game for the AFC number 1 seed potentially, and also a game that is for playoff lives between Minnesota and Green Bay. You can get those the same place you got this video at Disrupt the Media. He is Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network, and this is DJ Football.